Reverend Atkins from Roselle, New Jersey. First of all, I'd like to say thank you so very much on tonight for your support of Roselle. Not only what you passed tonight in terms of the ordinance for the first reading, but also what you did for our libraries. And that's very important to us. As you can see, we have, wow, I think we filled just about half of the room up because it's that important to us. One of the things I would like to say to you is that I remember a quote from the late Miles Monroe. He said, "True visionaries invest in a succession plan for the next generation." And one of the things that we're trying to do in Roselle, and it's very important to us, especially those individuals who have children in the school system, is to invest in our next generation. What you passed on tonight for the first reading is about our community center as well as our library project and the new school. The last school that was built in Roselle was 1940. Our library, which I thank you for the funds on today, but our library was built in 1937. What the residents of Roselle has been talking about, what they've been sharing with not only those members of the council and the Board of Ed, but they've been articulating the fact that, one, we have buildings that's very old and we don't have the technology for our kids to stay where they need to be in our society to make a difference. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to invest in our next generation. How we do that is that we give them a community center where it's not just about the children, but it's also about adults. Some of our residents have to go to Union and have to go to other neighboring towns to go to a community center. We don't have one. And everything else that we have is pretty old. So just to give you some history about this particular project, I was the board president of the Roselle Board of Education when this came into fruition, and we brought everyone together. We brought the council together, we brought the Roselle Board of Education together, we brought the residents together, and all we heard is, please invest in our next generation. I'll be honest with you, I walked the streets of Roselle. We have 21,000 residents, and I'm telling you that the majority of those residents feel this way. They don't mind investing. Taxes, I would agree. No one want to pay them. Nobody want their taxes to increase. But what I will tell you is that what I heard from residents is we don't mind making the investment as long as we can see where it's going. So freeholders on tonight, I ask you, I beg of you to help us help our town to get to that next level so we'll be able to not only bless our children, but also for the older seasoned folks, for them to have somewhere that they can go and enjoy. Thank you so very much on tonight. I appreciate your time, and we appreciate your support. Thank you.
Good evening, freeholders, and again, Jamel Holly from Roselle, New Jersey. It's really no secret of why I'm really here tonight. And I'm here because as a young man growing up in the Roselle community, I often wondered why my friends in Linden and Union and Elizabeth would have the things and recreational facilities that they had in their towns that we weren't allowed to have in ours. And as a young man growing up and eventually understanding politics, I realized that it's vision and leadership that really dictates what actually goes on in towns. And as a young man, as the Reverend mentioned, we have a very, very small library. We have no community center. We have not one pool, not one gymnasium. Our library is at a point where we're just putting Band-Aids on it to just let it sit and rot. Over the last 5 years as an assemblyman, a former mayor, I put blood, sweat, and tears into this project. I put together a great, strong team of professionals who would advise us on the dollar amount, good, strong professional team that would help us design, and a good, strong team that we were able to package this together and go out to the community and sell this project. But it was an easy sell. Because if you walk the streets of Roselle, what you will see is young men and young families walking just the streets because there is nowhere else to go. Thanks to each and every one of you, we were able to improve our parks. But that is only a Band-Aid. In Union, Vauxhall, over the last 10 years, you guys built new schools and a new library. In Elizabeth, you've built over 10 schools in the last 10 years. In Fanwood, you've built and have community centers. In Plainfield, you have pools and you have community centers. In Cranford, you built a wonderful new library and a wonderful community center. All being together as one for your community. All we're asking in Roselle is just to finally give us our just due. I understand that the package is pretty steep because over the years you guys have been able to piecemeal all of your projects. We've not been able to do that in Roselle. The school portion, I want you to just understand and take a moment to understand how we're going to pay for this. The Board of Education currently pays $700,000 plus to lease space to house our pre-K and kindergarten academy. Those buildings are not ours. We lease those from Master Shims and St. Joseph's. The play area for those pre-K and kindergartners are a parking lot on St. George Avenue and 4th Avenue. That's where we teach our 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds in Roselle. That playtime is in the parking lot. All we're asking the Board of Education to do is to redirect those resources that they spend $700,000 for, is to redirect it to this project. We brought our garbage in-house, which was another creative way for us to save money every year. We used to spend about $1.2 million every year to outsource our garbage. We no longer do that. That payment will then now be redirected to this new mind and body complex. We've also embarked on a new 60-acre golf course project, which we were able to negotiate a community impact fee that will give us $1 million to help pay for this project as well. The goal in this project, which will be about $312, the cost of this is about $312, which comes to $26 a month. I have a strong council, I have a strong Board of Ed, where we will be disciplined to raise those dollars within our municipal budget to help pay for this project. Our financial analysts, our financial experts have worked with us. We have put an amazing team together over the last 5 years to ensure that before we came to you to ask us to support this guarantee, that we had all our ducks lined up in a row. It's sad looking at our kids in our community. It's sad looking at families where they can't take kids to a destination for them to play and receive recreational facilities. I would end up, Mr. Chairman, if you could just give me the courtesy. For
1 sentence.
Okay. I cannot stress this freehold of the board enough that we need this in Roselle. We need this in Roselle, and we look forward to your support to helping us get this project to fruition. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sharice Pollard. I live in Roselle, and I am a single parent. I have 2 biological children and 2 foster children, and I do not have any place for my children to go. And this would be so ideal I'm not very articulate as a lot of these people are, but, you know, I just wanted to come up and just reiterate how important this is. I also grew up, I mean, literally grew up in Roselle. I know Roselle. I did everything in Roselle, and we did not have a community center. We didn't have those places for us to go. But, you know, like times were different back then, but now the streets are all we have for our kids. There's nowhere really for them to go outside of taking them outside of Roselle. And it's not the best place right now for our kids to just play around in kids. And for me to open up my home to help and build other children who does not have those opportunities. I want to bring them into a town that are offering something, anything for them. I have an 8-year-old, I have a 4-year-old, I have an 11-year-old, a 13-year-old, and I have to keep them inside the house just playing computer games and watching television all day, and you know, it's not as safe as if we could have what we're after. So please consider. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, and members of the Creole Board. My name is Samuel Bishop. I am from Roselle, and I'm very proud to serve as a councilman on the 5th Ward. Just to open up, I want to thank the 5 members who voted to support this project. This is a vital, vital project. This will also, not only is this an investment in our children, but this also will be an investment as far as property values are concerned. It would make Roselle a more attractive place for people to live, particularly families that have young children who are the primary homeowner buyers that purchase homes. That becomes a lot more attractive if you have a decent library, recreation facilities for them. As Assemblyman Holly had mentioned, we are in desperate need of a new school. I mean, the fact that a school in Roselle has not been built since 1940 is actually astonishing when you really stop and think about that. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. The one thing I will say, I would like to point out, you'll hear a lot of things from people that the taxes are too high, we can't do this. You had a little preview of coming attractions a little bit earlier. But I will say this, that every one of our elected officials that you see here tonight ran on the premises of building the mind and body complex. We ran on this. The public knew this, and we have elections that were won by members of this team by margins of 3-1. That says a lot. People's votes speak the message. So you're going to hear a lot of scuttlebutt over the next month or so as you consider this for your second. But I want you to keep in mind, we ran on this platform and we won 3-1. Thank you so much for your support. God bless and have a great evening.